Yo, so KSI just dropped a new song with Billie Eilish, and guess what? Mr. Forehead is still pressed about DanTDM. Like, seriously, Dan's probably chilling with his kid, living his best life, while KSI's out here making noise with all that extra space in his head. You can't make this up. But this new song, it's got memes flying, fans debating, and honestly, it might actually slap. Let's talk about how this all started, because it's way too ridiculous to ignore. Alright, so here's the deal. This whole DanTDM versus. KSI beef started with one little tweet. Dan, the chillest, most unproblematic YouTuber, dropped a banger that basically said, "Why are YouTubers selling trash to kids? Do better." Boom. That's it. No names, no drama. But apparently KSI saw that and thought, this is about me. So what does he do? He digs up an old DanTDM toy and tweets, "Looks like crap to me." Bruh, it didn't stop there. KSI went full detective mode, trying to find anything from Dan's past to call him a hypocrite. Meanwhile, Dan didn't even flinch. The guy was probably sipping tea and laughing while KSI threw a tantrum. Even at a Misfits boxing event, KSI tried hyping the crowd with this, "Come at my company, come at me" nonsense.
A similar situation happened with Lunchley. DanTDM, he came at my company, I defended myself, and I'm seen as the bad guy. How is this fair? When you come at my company, you come at me. When you disrespect my company, you disrespect me. So screw DanTDM.
And the crowd? They booed him hard. DanTDM was literally that unbothered. Oh, and when Dan finally spoke up, it wasn't even on Twitter. It was on Tommy and It's podcast, where he basically said, "Yeah, I just sat back and watched it all happen. It was funny."
And maybe with the Lunchley stuff as well, that's probably a similar thing. I was like, this is going too far. Yeah, you can push it to a point, and Logan should really know that if you push something to a point, like, you're going to go too far.
Like, dude didn't even need to try. KSI did all the work for him. But wait, because this mess got even wilder when Logan Paul jumped in. Let me tell you about Lunchley. So let's talk about Lunchley, the snack that nobody asked for. KSI, Logan Paul, and Mr. Beast teamed up to drop this revolutionary product that was supposed to be a better version of Lunchables. Spoiler alert, it wasn't. Instead of a fun, snacky vibe, people got moldy cheese and weird ingredients that looked like science experiments gone wrong. And the internet? Oh, they had a field day. But it gets better. Logan thought it'd be a genius move to promote Lunchley using the birth of his child. Like, bro really said, "Here's my newborn baby. Also, buy this overpriced cheese slab." Talk about priorities. And instead of addressing the actual complaints, KSI and Logan doubled down like they were running a PR disaster masterclass. It was a mess. Now here's the kicker. Remember DanTDM's single tweet? Yeah, it called this disaster before it even happened. The guy was practically Nostradamus. And while KSI was busy making excuses, Dan was just chilling, winning fan support without breaking a sweat. But KSI couldn't let it go, and that's where Thick of It comes in. Alright, so Thick of It, KSI's big "I'm over it" song that somehow proved he wasn't over it at all. Like, imagine writing an entire song just to flex on your haters, but still coming off as the most pressed person in the room. The song slapped, sure, but it was less "look how cool I am" and more "look how much this is still bothering me." And then KSI doubled down again with that "living the dream" post, trying to one-up Dan's wholesome family pic. Spoiler, it didn't work. It just made him look salty while Dan kept on quietly vibing and stacking W's. And the fans? Oh, they noticed. Reddit was roasting KSI like marshmallows at a campfire, while Dan's supporters were like, "Man's a legend for doing absolutely nothing." Honestly, it was hilarious watching KSI's overreactions dig a deeper hole. But here's the wild part. Despite all the drama, KSI's music career is still thriving. Let's talk about Dirty and why it's got people buzzing. Alright, so let's talk about Dirty, KSI's newest track that's got everyone buzzing. This one's all about being stuck in a toxic relationship. You know, the kind where you're like, "This is bad for me," but you still can't leave. Relatable, right? The production's super moody and dark, with this haunting female vocal that gives the whole song a staring out the window on a rainy day vibe. And yeah, credit where it's due. It's a solid track. People are already calling it one of his best. And I'm not gonna lie, it's catchy enough to get stuck in your head for days. But of course, the internet had jokes. You've got comments like, "He's officially changed the beat, got a different melody, different lyrics, different sound effects, different singer." different theme, different message, and a different genre. My brother was paralyzed and was in a wheelchair disabled, and once he heard this song, he stand up and put it on replay. Bro is out of the thick of it. Fans are debating if KSI's just out here airing out all his emotions through music. Honestly, it's a wild mix of praise and roasting, and that's what makes it so fun. But here's the thing. Can a hit song really distract from all the chaos he's been stirring up? Let's zoom out for a second and talk about what this whole mess says about KSI as a creator. Alright, so here's the thing about KSI. He's a walking paradox. On one hand, he's out here dropping bangers like Dirty and racking up streams like it's no big deal. On the other hand, he's still beefing with tweets and trying to prove he's that guy. Like, bro, we get it, you've got talent, but maybe chill on the ego for a sec. The dude's been so caught up in all this drama that even his own fans are like, yo, maybe focus on the music and not DanTDM's parenting vibes. Meanwhile, Dan's just existing. No drama, no stress, just wholesome content and good vibes. It's kind of wild when you think about it. KSI's working overtime trying to win an argument nobody cares about anymore, and Dan's winning the internet just by being unbothered. But here's the real question. Does KSI's chaos actually help or hurt his career? Alright, so here's the million-dollar question. Does KSI want to stop the chaos? Honestly, I don't think so. It feels like the drama is part of his whole deal now. Like, you know how some people can't resist arguing with strangers on the internet? That's KSI, except instead of strangers, it's DanTDM and half of Twitter. And let's face it, the chaos keeps him in the spotlight. Whether it's beef, boxing, or bangers, people are always watching. You can't deny it works, but at what cost? At some point, you gotta wonder if all this noise drowns out the actual talent. Like, dude's clearly got the skills. Dirty proves that, but the constant back and forth makes it harder to take him seriously. Imagine how much further he could go if he just focused on his music instead of trying to one-up Dan, who, let's be real, doesn't even care. But hey, maybe that's just me. What do you think? Does the chaos hurt or help him? Let me know, because this whole saga is honestly wild.